will you make sure that's like live in real life too?
Yeah, I'll try to find my phone somewhere.
All right. If I'm live, let me know. It's so weird. I don't know if it's working. Let me know if this is working. Hey everybody, here's some ASMR while you wait. All right. If the sound is good, if that sound is good, does it sound good? It's good? Okay, nice. This might be the first time I was able to get the stream up immediately. Hey everybody. So you know what? This is maybe my 4th live stream on YouTube, and oh, nice. Hey everybody. It's so nice to see all these messages. Hi Carlos. The village idiot. Oh, it's resident bed warmer. Nice. Thanks everybody for joining me. I appreciate it that you're here hanging out in this live stream. And we've got the live stream working now. Phil Goldenberg has been streaming every day on Twitch, so he's got the streaming down pretty well now. He's been streaming every day for like a week or so now, maybe more, almost 2 weeks. So if you don't already follow him on Twitch, you can do that here. Phil, if you're watching, why don't you type your Twitch channel into the chat if you're watching right now. Yeah, but he streams every day on Twitch, so we are working on the live stream setup. It's getting there for sure. Okay, so today we are talking about finger independence in the left hand. This is something that is necessary for, being able to play more than one note at a time. I'm trying to check my chat right now, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so I have some resources here that I'm using, and I have it on the screen, which is this side. This side of the screen would be the page that we'll be using, and I just took some resources from different technique books that I really like. I'll tell you which books I'm using as I go through the exercises, and I also put the links to the books for an Amazon in the chat, or in the description of this video. If you go into the description, you can see links to all the books in case you really liked any of them, because I'm just taking like little sections of each of these books. So if you think it's helpful, you can get the whole book, and it'll teach you all kinds of stuff, left hand, right hand, everything. But for today's lesson, it's just going to be finger independence. Broken Portrait says, my pinky has a mind of its own. Yeah, so that's basically why we need finger independence. Our fingers, it's, like when you're trying to get, for example, you have a C chord, and you want to go to an A minor chord. You need to just move your 3rd finger to the 3rd string, like that. So in that case, your 3rd finger is moving independently, right? It's just your 3rd finger moving. And you'd want to do that because if we're going from this chord to this one, there's no reason to do. It makes more sense, like economically, to move just one finger if you only have to move one. But when we first start playing guitar, this especially can be hard. We're just moving one finger, and when you move one finger, all of your fingers want to go with it. I mean, so like if you're using a C chord, but what if you're going to a G chord? Now you've got to move all your fingers to different directions, right? Because my 3rd finger is here, now it's going to have to go to the 1st string, going completely different directions. So they're all moving in different independent ways. So that's why we really need to work on our finger independence. And I'm showing you this example because this is like one of the basic things. Like when you take a lesson, your first guitar lesson, you might learn these chords, and that is, sorry, did I make this? So as we get better at guitar, there's just more obstacles, more independence obstacles that you're going to have to face. So we have to keep working on it. And if you're new to guitar, these exercises will help you a ton. And if you play guitar guitar better than me, these will still help you a ton. Everybody has to do these exercises all the time because it's just like a really difficult thing. I don't know, the way I've been thinking about it recently is like, if you were a person who, you know, didn't, like, if we evolved as people to this, like, we didn't evolve to use our fingers so much in independent motions, like in small little things like we do with like typing or piano or guitar. Like, usually when we use our fingers for everyday things, it's like grabbing a doorknob and all of your fingers are going the same direction. So now when we do fine motor skills like this, we need to make sure all of our fingers are able to do the thing that we want them to do independently of each other. So here's some of my favorite exercises for left-hand finger independence. Okay, so the first one we're going to do, I've got the sheet music on the screen, like I said, but I'm going to explain it a lot too. So grab your guitars. I hope everybody at home has got a guitar. And this exercise here is from Scott Tennant's Pumping Nylon book. And actually, the interesting thing about this book is I found a tabbed version online too. So if you can't read music but you want to check out this book, there's also a tabbed version available. The link is in the description. Okay, so this first exercise, what we're trying to do is we're going to, it says fix your fingers on string 3. So the 3 with the circle at the top here, that circle, it means 3rd string. So we're going to fix our fingers onto the 3rd string, and we're going to put them on the 6th fret, 2, 3, and 4, all in the same string on the 6th, 7th, 8th fret. So then we are going to move just your 1st finger. So the next measure where it has a little repeat sign, this one, is where we move our finger. So you're going to put your 1st finger on the 5th string, and that's a D, but you can also tell because it's got a little 5 in a circle, it means 5th string. So you got D, and then you're going to move your 1st finger over to the 2nd string. 5th string, 2nd string. Okay, and now we're going to move to the 6th string, and then the 1st. So then we repeat that. So 5th string, 2nd, 5th, 2nd, 6th, 1st, 6th, 1st. So remember fixing these fingers so they cannot move. And if you're new to this kind of exercise, you might be moving your 1st finger and your 2nd finger wants to follow it. But you got to really just focus on keeping it down, keeping it right there. Let's do that one more time because we're still getting warmed up. 5th, 2nd, 6th, 1st, 6th, 1st. Okay, so now we're going to put our 1st finger down on the 3rd string, on the same string as the other 3 fingers. And we're going to do the same exact thing now, but with our 2nd finger. So I'm on the 2nd line now. So moving just my 2nd finger, your middle finger. 5th string, 2nd, 5th string, 2nd, and then we go to the 6th string. 6th, 1st, 6th, 1st, and then we'll do that one more time. So moving just your 2nd finger, really try to keep these other fingers down, don't move them. And if you find your fingers are lifting up while you do this, like if your pinky wants to go or your 3rd finger, actually I feel like my 3rd finger always wants to go with my 2nd finger, then you need to go slower. And if this video is going too fast for you and you need to take a break, it's no problem. You can always watch it again or write down these exercises so you can do them later. So that's our second finger. We did our second finger. Now we're going to put your second finger back on the third string, and we're going to move just your third finger. This one's going to be harder than the other two for sure. So third finger on the fifth string, second string, third finger, only your third finger. Don't let your pinky or your second finger want to go with it. Sixth string, first. It burns. Sorry, I know it's hard. If your fingers are hurting, like, just make sure you're not pushing down too hard, and give them a little break if it hurts. Fifth string. Oh, second. Sixth. First. And if you have any questions about this, or you need me to stop or re-explain something, just feel free to type it in the chat. Got the chat right in front of me, and I'm watching it. Okay, so let's do third finger again, because that is a tricky one. That's a really hard one. I feel like my second and third finger always want to do the same thing. Fifth string, second, and then sixth string, first, sixth string, first. Okay. Now, yeah, your hand, if it burns, like mine does burn a little bit, just shake it out. Take a break for a second. And then we've got one more line to do here. So you're going to put your fingers back on the same spot, and we're on the fifth fret with your first finger, or on the third string. 1, 2, 3, these are all on the same string. And now we're going to do our pinky. Broken Portrait asks, where does the thumb settle? Reaching is hard. Okay, so my thumb right now is, let me see if I can show you the back of my guitar without moving my thumb. I've got my thumb like kind of underneath my second finger, if you can see this. So it's like, if I took it away from the guitar, it's like this. If your thumb is back here on this side, then you're going to be reaching with your pinky and probably your third finger, and that's going to be really difficult. So really think about keeping your thumb behind where your second finger is. I also have it kind of far back here, like it's not coming over the fingerboard, and it's coming back this way a little bit, and it's on its side. My thumb looks really nasty right now on this side, so I didn't think I was going to have to show it on stream, but like this. So make sure your thumb is not in a weird spot so that you can reach. And you know, if you're moving your fourth finger, that shouldn't be a reach. If your thumb is back here, that's going to be a reach. I can't even do that if my thumb's back there. So keep your thumb in a nice position and elbow dropped and relaxed to the floor. Okay, so now we had a little break. Let's go to the fourth finger now, pinky. So 3 fingers down on the third string, and we're going to put your pinky on the fifth string, and then pinky on the second string. Again. Ooh, wow, my third, I wasn't thinking well enough. My third finger went instead of my fourth finger. Okay, now sixth string. This one feels weird for sure. Probably because we use our pinkies the least amount. Alright. If you have any questions about this one, let me know. But otherwise we'll move on to the next exercise. This is in the same book, Pumping Nylon. And now we're going to be doing 2 fingers at a time instead of just the one. So it's the same principle on the page here, where you've got your 2 fingers are going to be staying on the third string, just staying there, and then the other 2 are going to be moving. So slacking source says you never use your thumb to hold down a note. No, I would never wrap my thumb around to hold down a note like that. I know that that's like a technique that fingerstyle guitarists do, but for classical guitar, I would not do that. Probably. Never say never, but probably not. I mean, sometimes we do, like, different techniques and things once in a while, but not as a rule. Okay, so we're going to be on the third string. Same thing, put your fingers back in this spot. Maybe we could just line up all 4 of our fingers on the third string. And you're going to keep down the 3rd and 4th finger, and we're going to move the 2nd and the 1st. So your 1st finger is going to go on the 5th string, and your 2nd finger is going to go on the 2nd string. Easy enough. And then we have to switch them, right? Is that what we do? I think. Is that right? This is what I've always done. Oh, that's because it's here. Oh. That's why. Okay, so this exercise is going to be on the 1st fret, but you could do it on the, I'm going to do it on the 5th fret because I think it's a little bit easier. If you go all the way down to the 1st fret, the frets are farther spaced apart, obviously, and then as you go up, they get closer together. So the farther up you play this, the easier it will be on your fingers. So for now, maybe you'd want to do this on the 5th fret and then move down as you get better at it. But for today, I'll just do this all on the 5th fret still. So we'll just stay here. So same thing. I'm just going to go 1st finger on the 5th string, 2nd finger on the 2nd string, and then flip them. Flip them again. So try to keep this really smooth. Like the motion is just, it's not like jerky, like we're not doing one finger at a time. Try to do them at the same exact time. Okay, next one is going to be, let's see, 1 and 4 stay down. So fix 1 and 4, and then 2 and 3 are going to switch. That's hard because I always feel like 2 and 3 want to do the same exact thing. So now they have to do opposite things. Oh, I didn't do the other the outer strings. 2nd string to 5th string and back. All right, now we're going to go to the outer strings too. So we're going to do 6th string and 1st string. Back again. I don't see anybody in the chat right now, so I'm going to assume that you're all doing these exercises with your guitars, and that you have no issues, that this is just an easy cakewalk because you guys are so good. Let's do this one again on 5th string and 2nd. Switch. Switch again. And then outer strings. Switch. Okay. Next one is, we're on the 3rd line now, and it's fixing your 1st and 2nd finger. Fixing your 1st and 2nd finger and moving your 3rd and 4th. This one's kind of hard because you do have to stretch a little bit, but let's see. So we're going to put your 3rd finger on the 5th string and your 4th finger on the 2nd string. Oh, you see what happened? When I did that, my 2nd finger wanted to follow my 3rd finger. So. Okay, it's also important to note that I would not want to squeeze down these fingers. They're not moving, but not because I'm like clamping down. They're just not moving because I don't want them to move. Okay, and then outer strings. This one's a little bit tricky. I have to really work on that one. I have to really think about it before I play it. We'll do that one again, so 5th and 2nd. The thing that I find is when I'm not thinking hard enough, like if I'm watching the chat or something, then my other fingers pull up. So you gotta really think about it. So I'm thinking about it instead of like clamping down my fingers. I'm just thinking really hard about which fingers I want to move. Okay, so that was 3 and 4. Okay, and now we're on the 4th line. Wow. We're on the 4th line, and that one is 1 and 3 are staying down, and 2 and 4 move. So we've got 2 on the 5th string and 4 on the 2nd string. Switch them. Switch back. And now to the outer strings, 6th string and 1st. Back to 6th string and 1st. And we'll do 5th and 2nd again. And 1st. Okay, nice. So remember, if you have a question, leave it in the chat. I hope this is explained well. We're on the 5th line already. The 5th line is keeping your 2nd and 3rd finger down and moving your 1st and your 4th. That one, I'll see. So 1st finger is on the 5th string, and my pinky is on the 2nd. And we switch them. Switch again. Switch. And then the outer string, so 6th and 1st. That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes this is just enough. Like this could be a handful for most people probably. And then you can try some of them later, or you can take a break because we're gonna keep going and do tons more. Outer strings again. Okay. And okay, so that was this. Now we're on the last line. And that one is keeping 2nd and 4th finger down and then moving your 1st and 3rd. Okay, so 2nd and 4th is here and moving 1st and 3rd. Okay, I can already tell it's going to be tricky because my 3rd finger moving and these 2 around it, like these 2 are going to want to go with my 3rd finger, I just know it. So remember, we're not squeezing down on your hands, keep them relaxed. You don't need like a ton of pressure to play these notes. So, and then switch 5th and 2nd. Oh, my 2nd finger came up, so I gotta do that again. Okay, now I'm gonna do the outer strings 6th and 1st. We'll do the inner ones again. the hardest one for me. All right, there you have it. Okay, so if you have any questions about this one, like I said, this one is in this one's in Pumping Nylon. So if you're interested in that one, I put a link in the description, but this is a really good book. The next one I'm going to do is, after my hands take a break for a second, the next one I'm going to do is from Kitharologus. I really like this book too. It's Kitharologus by Ricardo Iznaola, and this is a really good finger independence exercise because you're going to be moving each finger at a time but keeping the other ones down after. So I'll show you in a second. So I like this book because it tells you things like your goals for the exercise and approaches to practicing it. So obviously the first one is independence of and strength of left-hand fingers. That's exactly what we're doing here today. And kind of like a vertical extension. So it's the same, along the same lines, but it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more challenging than the last ones we did. And practice approach, the thing that I was saying before, avoid excess pressure. So don't hold down your fingers tighter because they want to come up. Just keep your fingers moving independently. Don't like glue the other ones down. And actually you won't be able to do it as easily in this one. Atlante says, I'm having a hard time keeping my hand relaxed. Maybe you're trying to go too fast. If I'm going too fast, that might be it, because I've done these exercises a million times, so I might be going faster than you're able to go. So go a little bit slower, and if you feel your hand starting to get tense, just relax it for a minute and reset. Make sure that there's no tension when you come back. Sometimes when I do these, like my hand got a little tired from doing that. So if you have your hand in the same spot, like doing something like that for a long time, it gets tired. So another reason it could not be relaxed is your thumb might be squeezing too hard on the back of the neck. So be really careful with that. You'll notice you don't need that much pressure to hold down these notes. So keep your fingers relaxed. And even if you've been playing guitar for like years and years, you still have to always be reminding yourself not to squeeze the back of the neck and to stay relaxed. Slacking Source, thank you so much. I'm really glad that these are helpful for you. These are like exercises that I love, and I'm really happy to share them with you. Broken Portrait, is this part of your usual warm-up routine? I wouldn't say this is my usual warm-up routine, but sometimes, I wouldn't do a whole thing of left hand independence, but I would take one of these exercises for my warm-up routine. So I would take maybe one of those other two, or one of the ones that are coming up that I'll show you, and I'll just put one of those, and then I'll do other things in my warm-up routine, which is like scales and arpeggios in the right hand. Let's see. Okay, I made Phil a moderator so he can answer some questions. Do you typically use a metronome with this type of exercise? Thanks for asking that, Robert. You could definitely use a metronome for this exercise. You don't really need to, I think, because when you're first doing it, you want to think really hard about the fingers and make sure that you've got it. And then maybe add a metronome afterwards to make sure that you are doing it in time. But when you first start the exercise, make sure that you can do it first without the metronome, and then do the metronome after that. Okay, so this is our Kitharologus finger independence exercise that I love. So the first finger is going to play on the 7th fret of the first string. That's B. So you're going to play that note. Oh, thank you, Broken Portrait. I'm glad that these are helpful and that you find me to be a good teacher. I appreciate that. Okay, so first finger on B on the first string, 7th fret, and then, sorry. Okay, second finger, this might be the most I talked all day. No, I taught a lesson today, never mind, sorry. So first finger on the first string, second finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string, that G. That's first, second. Well, they want you to do AMIs. I would do that. Thanks, Carlos. I'm glad that this is good content and that I do want it to help like other people. I do want it to be help aspiring players take off. And then I'm going to put my third finger on the 3rd string. Sorry, it's I know it's confusing because I'm like saying my numbered finger and then number the string. I'm trying to be really clear. First finger on the 1st string, second finger on the 2nd string, 3rd finger on the 3rd string, and then 4th finger on the 4th string. So they're kind of like in a row on each string. And then you can play. Okay, so that's where we start with. And then I'm on measure 3. I'm going to move my 3rd finger on the same fret, but on the 5th string. And then my 2nd finger is going to move to the 6th string. And then I'm on the next measure. My 1st finger is going to move all the way over to the 6th string. Oh, okay, let's lift up that one. So as you can see, each finger moved one at a time. It's not so much like switching back and forth like the other one. It's kind of like one at a time is moving, and you gotta keep the other ones down. It's pretty tricky. So let's try that. Let's do it just that much again. So we've got one finger on each string. I'm gonna play. So make sure that this is smooth and that you're kind of anticipating the next note. You know where your finger is going to go, and you're looking at that note, and you know exactly what you're going to do. So if you have to go slower than I'm playing it, then that's fine. I've done this exercise a bunch of times, so I might be able to go a little bit faster than you, and that's okay. 2nd finger. Okay, so now I'm on, which measure was that? That was the 4th measure. Okay. My 2nd finger is going to move over to the 5th string. My 3rd finger is going to go to the 4th string. And my pinky is going to go to the 3rd string. Now my 3rd finger is going to go to the 2nd string. 2nd finger is going to go to the 1st string. And then my 1st finger is going to go to the 1st string. And now we're basically back where we started. 3rd finger moves. 2nd finger. 1st. 2nd. 3rd. 4th. 3rd. 2nd. 1st. So it's like you're moving one finger at a time and you're just moving over to the next strings, and it kind of makes this like crisscrossy thing that is difficult to execute. And it's funny because if you're just watching, it looks kind of easy, right? Like you're just moving one finger at a time, but you can't lift up any of these other fingers. So try really hard to keep your fingers down. Let's do it together one more time. Robbie Asaldo asks, can that exercise also be applied to acoustic because I want to improve my finger dexterity, especially on my pinky? Yes, I think this can be applied to all guitar because you're doing the same thing on acoustic guitar or electric guitar. Your fingers you want to be able to put them where you want to put them and not have them like flying up all over the place. So like if I was playing this exercise or this is just an exercise, right? This wouldn't be a song that anybody would play, probably. And if I wanted to get over to this, if I wanted to get this finger over to here, you lift up your other fingers that don't need to be lifted up, you're just doing excess movement that you don't need. And if you start doing too much excess movement and your fingers are coming off when you don't necessarily need them to, you're not going to be able to play like fast enough because your fingers are too far away from where you want them to be and they're doing just too much work. I always like tell my students, because my students never want to do like technique exercises because they're boring. They want to play through their pieces, but it's just like I'm trying to like help you so that you can work less. Like I want to keep my fingers doing the least amount of work possible. And it seems hard right now, but if you see somebody that's playing classical guitar really well, you know, their fingers are barely moving, it looks like, almost, and they're all over the place, but they're not coming off of the fingerboard like this, or they're not moving places they don't need to move. You only move where you need to move. You only play the notes that you need to play. You don't just like let your fingers go. Otherwise, you wouldn't have any control over the piece you're playing. And that felt like a rant about like a whole thing, just to say like I think this could help anybody. Probably if you play other instruments too, you do these kind of exercises. Maybe they're a little bit different, but let's do this exercise one more time. Just make sure we've got it. So remember, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. So I almost lifted my fourth finger, but I'm putting it. I'm not. I realized it before it came off. 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's kind of a nice chord anyway. Okay, that's a good one. So it's just this exercise with a repeat, so you could just keep repeating this until you really get the hang of it, and just going like really slow and making sure that, well, if you can see the music here, you've got these ties, so you have to be holding the note for that. They want you to hold the note for that long, so just keep that note held down. Otherwise it was down. Nice. Okay, so if we want to move on from this one, let's see. Okay, so this is another technique book that I used. I forget what this one was called, but it's also in the description. They're all in the description. But this is a really good exercise, and it's just octaves. So if you can't read music, this is still easy. It's just octaves. So you'll see, because you can see there's different fingers here, like 2 and 0, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 0. Like we're doing all kinds of different fingers here. I would recommend watching this again. Like take some exercises that you really, like take a screenshot of this or something. And like I said, I don't do all of these exercises every day. This is like kind of a lesson on some exercises that you could do for finger independence. I would probably pick one of these a day, but to have a bunch of them, to pick different ones, because sometimes if you can get really good at one, it's not really challenging you anymore, so you need to keep moving up. So if you need to keep working on this first one we did, just keep working on that one for like a couple days to a week or a month, like however you feel like really comfortable with it, and then go to the next one. Because if you can't do this one yet, you know, the one that was like 2 or whatever, then keep working on that one until you can do it. If you can do all of these, then just pick one every day. And if you can't do them yet, do them really slow, because I couldn't do any of these when I first saw them, because it was just like, what is going on? And I want to keep this slow, but not too slow, so that it's not like a 5-hour long live stream. Robbie has a question. Have you played other genres of music? I know you play a lot of classical, but do you ever branch out on other genres? Yeah, I do, but like mostly for fun. You know, I like songs and then I'll learn them on the guitar. Or I recently got a gypsy jazz guitar, which is kind of fun to play around on. I wouldn't want to post anything on it yet. Maybe in like 100 years when I get better at it. But I feel like this is my specialty, but I love other genres and I do have fun playing them. And I think this technique, the classical technique, can transfer really well to them. Not always, because, you know, sometimes the techniques are really different. But having your fingers move on both hands is really, really helpful. Okay, so this exercise is, like I said, octaves. And we're going to start with the open E. E, and then the E on the fourth string with your second finger. And play this at the same time. And then we're going to go chromatic, so it's just going to be F, which is the first fret of the sixth string, and the F, that's on the third string, so just the next note up. Chromatic just means the next half step up. So we went from E, F, then our third chord is the F sharps, so second finger and fourth finger. After F sharp comes G. So you go an open G on the third string, but then this third finger on the sixth string. And after G is G sharp, so fourth finger on the sixth string, first finger on the third string, and then A sharp, so first finger on the fifth string, third finger on the third string, and then it's B, so you have an open B on the second string, and our second finger here, and then C, so third finger and first finger on the second string, C sharp, so fourth finger on C sharp here, second finger on C sharp here, and then D, so third, and then open D on the fourth string, and then D sharp, first finger on the fourth string, fourth finger on the second string, and then E, so second finger on the fourth string, and then open first string. F is your third finger, and you're on the fourth string, your first finger on the first string. F sharp, we're going up another half step, fourth finger on the fourth string, second finger, the first string. Now G, open third string, third finger on the first string, and then G sharp or A flat, and that would be first finger on the third string, pinky on the first string, and then we're going to go backwards. G, G flat, F, E, E flat, so it's 1 and 4, D, C sharp, C natural 1 and 3, B, open B, second string, B flat, A, G sharp, fourth finger here, first finger here, G, open, F sharp, F, E. Okay, actually, this is one that I do almost every day. I do this almost every day. It's so good for like moving your fingers in different directions. So let me do it keep working on it. I'm going to do it a little more up to speed to show you how it should go. Watch my left-hand fingers. So as you can see when I'm doing this, just like trying to stay accurate on each fret so I know the next note that's coming up, because they're all just chromatic octaves. So if the first note's E, next one's F, F sharp, G. So if I know that, I can anticipate where my finger needs to move and that it's going to be accurate. If you need to do this slower, that's totally understandable. Definitely do it slower if you can. And think about exactly where your finger needs to go. Don't just like let your finger go there. Like look at it and make sure it's landing on the right string in the right fret, so we can be like really accurate here. Because this is a technical exercise. Let's be really accurate in our technical exercises. Wow, this is like a workout. We're taking a break. Grab some water. I feel like when I do these work like this, I feel like I'm one of those people that does like YouTube like workouts, but not like guitar workouts, like exercises. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like Pilates and all that. That's kind of how I am right now. I'm like one of those Pilates instructors. Like, let's go. You can do it. Keep it up. 5 more. I'm not bashing YouTube exercises because I do them too. It's how I stay in shape. It's free and it's good. It's good content. Okay. Your hands feeling better? Mine are. Okay. So those are our octaves. I think those are really good. And like I said, I do those every day. I just do it once. I don't even do a repeat. Just yo guitarist. That's right. That's me. Let's see. Otto says, I had to make one piece I had to make with parallel intervals is that much like chords, my fingers memorize the position before my mind can learn them. Yeah, sometimes your fingers, depending on like where you're at with like knowing the fretboard notes and how your fingers move, sometimes it's better to let your fingers memorize it and then do it. If you don't know the notes in the fretboard yet, for sure. Okay. What's our next exercise? Oh, these are the good ones. Okay. These ones are really hard. And I used to do these every day because I wanted to get good at them, but they're just hard. And you know what the problem is? It's not that they're too hard to do every day. It's just that there's so many of them. There's so many of these exercises. Vertical exercises, which I love. I think I heard about these when I was at the Manus Guitar Seminar, and Renee Izquierdo was showing these, and I heard him just like ripping through this, and I was just like, what is that? And he showed us in his technique class, and I was like, this is crazy. And I've been doing them, but it's like there's so many of them. So if you can get this book, this is amazing, and do like a little bit every day, because there's just so many, and then you can go all the way up to, like, do this exercise all the way up and back. So let me show you how it goes, because if you don't have to like really read these notes so much as just know the pattern of the fingers. That would help more than knowing the notes. So you're gonna start with, we're on exercise 1, form 1, and form 1 is just your first finger on the 6th string, 1st fret, and your second, so you play that note, and then you play the second finger on the 5th string, and then the 3rd. So we did 1 on the 6th string, 2 and 3 on the 5th string, and then you're going to play that 6th string note again, and move your 2nd and 3rd finger up a string. You're going to move into the 4th string. Now you're going to do the same thing, play that 6th string note, and move your 2nd and 3rd finger up to the 3rd string. And then 6th string again, keeping your 1st finger there this whole time. It hasn't moved, it hasn't lifted or anything. I'm going to the 2nd string. Play it again. And my 2nd and 3rd finger go to the 1st string. So a little bit faster, maybe, so that, or not really fast, but just to put it in context. So I'm keeping my 1st finger down and just moving these up a string every time. So now that I've got to the 1st string, it's not over, because now my 1st finger is going to move. And my other 2 fingers are going to stay there. So now my 1st finger is moving to the 4th string. 1st finger moves to the 3rd string. And the 2nd. Now, we're not done yet. Wait, let me show you what we did so far one more time. Now my 1st finger's moving. Sorry, my pet rat is so cute right now. He's really cute. If we get to the end of this exercise, maybe I'll show you how he looks. He's really cute. Robbie asks, have you ever learned Asturias? Would love to hear you play it. I've tried learning it on acoustic, but somehow my fingers won't cooperate. Yeah, that's another one we need finger independence. I have not played it. Oh, I forget how it goes. It's probably because you have to keep one finger down and kind of, I remember you have to kind of like move your fingers around. Mr. Rat, yeah. You know what? Actually, he just started eating, so when he's done eating, maybe I'll grab him as like a treat if we get through this exercise. Okay, we're gonna get through it. So let me do this part again to show you. So I did. Now my 1st finger's moving. Now my 2nd and 3rd finger are gonna move backwards, back down the strings. 1st string. My 1st finger is just staying there. My 2nd and 3rd finger moving. And then we're going to keep these ones here, and my 1st finger is going to move down. Then we'll just go to the 2nd position, do the same thing. When you get to there, you go up to 3rd position. What I think about Carlovara book techniques. Really, really good techniques for sure. If you can get those books, for sure get them. I didn't think of any from there that I wanted to do for for left hand independence today, but maybe for the next technique class I would use some from Carlovara technique. Really good techniques. I used to spend like a half hour every day on just Carlovara, and then I always felt like, whatever. Like I felt like if once I did that, I could do anything that day with my fingers. But that was hard to keep up. I did it for a while, but maybe I'll go back to it. You've reminded me. Okay, so this one that I just did. I know, I don't have my sleeve. You know what? I think it's... You mean my sleeve that I put on my arm? Because... Is this it? This might not be mine. This one's too big. I don't know where my sleeve is. But you know what? I don't really care about the sleeve right now so much because I try to like have it so that my arm can move, and if I'm being like, you know, I want to be more musical, like I want to play down here and up here and over here like that, like I don't want it to be restricted, but I'm not really doing anything like that, like anything like super musical today. I'm just doing all this technique, and it's all left hand technique, so my right hand, it's kind of like just sticking here, and it's not really bothering me that it is. Wow, I got a sleeve delivery. Okay guys, you asked for it. Here's the sleeve. Here it is. Unless you mean like sleeves like on my shoulders, because I like never wear sleeves in the summer. It's really hot out right now. Anyway, so here's my sleeve, so now I can show you more stuff. Okay, so this exercise. Makes sense, the way that it goes up and then down again, and then you can do that all the way up to however far you want. I used to do it up to the 7th fret and then back. This is a really good one, and if you're trying it right now, you'll see why. It's just so just do it really slow. Just really slow. Let me see that. Let me do slower than that. Make sure it's accurate. If this is the first time you're doing this exercise ever, it's probably going to be really tricky. I learned this exercise like years ago, so I just want to show you. I just play a little bit faster just so you know how it should sound. But if you're learning it right now, just really slow. Slacking stars can do it at 1/1000th of the speed. That's perfect. You know, I don't care what thousandths of how small the speed is, as long as the notes are there and they're clear. Okay. So that one takes us all the way up. You can take that all the way up to the 7th fret and then take it all the way back home. But let's do some more of these because I want to show you, without this class being like 5 hours long, I want to show you like all of these. Okay, where are we? So now I'm at form 2, down on the 3rd to the last line. So this is like the same kind of a thing. These all kind of follow the same rules except for the fingers change. So now we're going to do 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. Bass. Oh wait, you see that my shoulder was like creeping up on me? I think that's because it sounds weird. Because I wanted to, I've never done this before where I did this order. I would never have done this before. It sounds too weird to go from to. Okay, so I'm moving up to 2nd fret. 1, 2, 4, bass. 1. fourth string, and my first finger is going to move. And we're going to go backwards. So first finger is going to stay on the first string. These ones are going to go backwards. And then you can move up to the third fret. Okay, my hand is getting tired, so I'm going to show you Mr. Rat. Mr. Rat. Look at this good boy. He's so cute. Bud, what's going on? This is Mr. Rat. The thing about Mr. Rat is that he loves hearing technique exercises. If you start playing like some random notes around Mr. Rat, he just loves it. He goes crazy for it. Right, bud? He'll just start like running around his cage a lot more. He doesn't really like tonal music. He just likes technical exercises. This is my big boy. Right, buddy? And we're just taking a little break here because we've been playing for about an hour. And if you have a pet, you should give your pet a little scritch. Okay, bud? Maybe a little treat. Give your pet a little treat and a scritch. We're doing a good job. Doing a good job today. He's very fluffy. So he keeps my technique in line because he loves technical exercises, right, bub? Right? Yeah. All right, you want to go listen to some more exercises? You want to say hi? All right, he's going to go home. Otto says speed is a trap. Yeah, finger 1 and 2 can be really stressing on the forearm muscles. You experienced some discomfort and had to lift the elbow a bit. Yeah, so do not go too fast because it is a trap. Sometimes you think you've got it and it's just not gonna. You just really need to slow down and really focus on where you're putting your fingers. And if you feel any tension, figure out what's going on. Like, why do you have tension? Is it because you're squeezing in here? Is it because your shoulder's coming up? That's kind of happening to me when I play this, is my shoulder's coming up a little bit. Yeah, he's a rat. Rats can be pets. Rats are great pets. Robert says his cat is fond of Andrew York. Wow, your cat is like the opposite of Mr. Rat, because Mr. Rat just likes random notes, and Andrew York has such beautiful like tonal type relaxing music. Actually, that sounds like the exact kind of music a cat would like. That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's hand is different, and you do have to experiment a bit. Just really keep it in mind that you don't want to squeeze too hard, or if there's any discomfort, like, you shouldn't have any discomfort when you're playing. If something is painful, then just slow down or stop and reassess. Like, never squeeze. You could even do an exercise where you just barely touch the string. Sounds like that. And then just squeeze like really slowly until you get a note. It's really such a small amount that you need. You don't need to be like pushing down into the string. The other trick with this is keeping your fingers really up like this. because they're not going to move as easy if you're trying to play on the tip or this part of your finger. We really want to keep playing on the tips of your finger. So we just did 1, 2, 4. I hope Mr. Rat helped give everybody a break to catch up. Yeah, I should write an etude dedicated to it. That would be pretty cool. Would people play an etude that I wrote? I don't know. I don't know if my writing's any good. So that was 1 and 2 and 4. Now let's see, the next page I've got form 3 is 1, 3, 4. That's going to be tricky. So we'll do that one slow again. So same exact thing, so we're just using the different fingers. So it's your first finger. Oh, Atlante, thank you. That's a good point. In the last exercise, you can start from the 5th fret. It's too hard. Remember in the very beginning of the stream, I said if that the frets are farther apart here. You can take any of these exercises and put them on a higher fret because they are closer together. See, look how much closer my fingers are than when I go down here. So it might be like a nice thing to do if this is your first time doing this also, is to just start on like the 7th fret and then go backwards, you know, work your way back to the 5th fret, and then maybe next week you can go back to the 3rd fret, and the week later you can go back to the 1st fret, because they're going to get farther apart as you go down the neck. Any of these exercises can be taken, they're not musical at all, so it doesn't matter which string you're playing, or which fret you're playing, I mean, just make sure that your fingers are doing the right technical things. The tips are really emphasized in Osad's favorite drill. Oh, it's in Pumping Nylon. Yeah, I don't have it with me because I don't have Pumping Nylon right in this room, it's in the other room. But yeah, that's a good one to check out too. If you put your rat under a chef's hat, will it help you cook? Well, this isn't Ratatouille, but I wonder if I had a hat on and he could help me play guitar or have good technique, because he's such a technical rat. He just loves technique. Maybe if I had my rat under my hat and then he could control my technique, and I would have perfect technique. He probably has good technique because he, first of all, cares about technique, and he also has really small hands. They're not too big and clunky. He's got little fingers. I don't know. I'll just show you him another time, but he's got these little hands, and it's funny because when he eats things, it's like he's holding them with his hands. Let's see. If you were to rank the books in terms of technical difficulty that you've listed today, how would you rank them? Technical difficulty, how I would rank them is exactly the order that I put them on there. I thought about this, and it's the same order that we did them in for this this sheet music that I put up here. So I think Pumping Nylon is the easiest to, not that it's easy, but it's got some really basic things that would be good for beginners. There's tons of open string exercises, and they have nice little pieces in there, and they even have a tab version, like I said, if you don't read music. So, or sometimes it's just easier to read tab because the notes on this page that we're looking at now aren't difficult to play, but there's just a ton of notes with all these different accidentals. Sometimes tabs are easier to read for technical things. And then what was the next one? Then Kitharologus is a good one. Same thing, where it's a lot of open strings and really, it starts out really slow, just slow open strings, things like that, and it works up. And then the other one I have, which was the one I did out of the octaves, chromatic octaves, the what was it called? I forgot what that book was called. Oh, I have it right in front of me. That one is Mastering Guitar Technique. I like that one a lot. I actually have it right here in front of me because it has a lot of words in it. He explains a lot of things. But it's a huge book. I took that one exercise out of the book. So if you liked that one, he's got a whole book here. And everything's explained really, really well. And so I like that one. And then I would say the last one that I would recommend would be, if you're more advanced, would be this one that we're doing now, because it's just these vertical exercises, and it's not really like, it's not anything else either. It's not like a complete technique. It's just these, which they're great. But if it's your first time kind of working with finger independence exercises, it might be too much. To Mr. Toratanaraja. Please tell me if I said that right. Too much of these exercises can result in hand injury. We ought to be careful with them and not apply liberally. Yeah, exactly. That's why, like here, I'm showing you these ones, and I said, you know, I wouldn't do all of them in my warm-up routine. I'll pick one of these because these are a lot, and like we're taking a lot of breaks here. I'm not playing this entire hour so far. So definitely good point. Be careful with them. It can definitely get to be working your hands too much. And I've had tendonitis before. If you have tendonitis, you can't play guitar at all. So it's better to just be safe and don't push yourself too much with that. Robbie asks, when you first started playing classical, did you ever struggle getting to move your fingers to move independently? What age did you start playing classical? I started playing classical when I was 10 years old, and I probably did, but it's hard to remember that. But I can remember back in like college, I was still like getting better at guitar. Well, actually, I'm still getting better at guitar. But I remember back in college, I really had to work on that kind of a thing, because at that point, when I got to college, there was all these pieces I wanted to play that were just too difficult, like Bach and things that, you know, you have to be like holding a bass note down and then playing other things around it, and that's where you really need the finger independence exercises that I didn't even realize that I needed before, because before I got to college, I was playing pieces that were like a little bit easier, like you know. And that's a great piece, but it's written so nicely for the guitar. Like Tarago was holding a guitar when he made this, and it's kind of like a short little piece that it moves very intuitively. So pieces like this, or like that was the kind of pieces I was playing before I got to college. And then when I got to college and I wanted to learn like harder music, it started to become more challenging. I had to think about these kinds of things. Ken says, I have the Pumping Nylon book. I'm looking to see what I should purchase next. Oh, yeah. After Pumping Nylon, I do like this one because I think that it has like a lot of really good information. He talks a lot about this. I think I got this book when I was in college. I took a guitar pedagogy course, and my teacher recommended this one. So it's a really good one. I've had it for a long time. Cool. This is good. I'm glad this is helpful for everybody. Let me just show you, now that I took this break to do my hands, let me just show you some more of these exercises, because this could be really helpful. Because we just did all these ones where it's... Yeah, college wasn't that long ago for me. Probably 4 years ago. Oh, my graduate school is a little less than that. And then, okay, so now I'm going to go to the Form 2, or Form 4. Why did I say 2? Form 4 down here. That's the fourth line. And that one we're starting on the F sharp with our second finger. So you're going to do 2, 1, 3. Second finger's on the bass, and move up. 1 and 3 are moving. an interesting one because your second finger and then the first and the third are going around it. Let's see. So that was form 4. Let's see what's next. Form 5 is like the same thing, but now it's 2, 1, 4. That's a tricky one. 2, 1, and 4. Wow, I'm having trouble getting my fourth finger to be accurate there. Yeah, my fourth finger isn't always accurate. So the problem I just had was that my fourth finger wasn't landing right on the string on the tip of my finger. And it made that kind of like that kind of a sound. So maybe I have to do this a little slower. Okay, that's a good one. And then we've got form 6 is going to be really tricky because that's 2, 3, 4. So 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. This one's hard. Maybe move it up one. 2, 3, 4. Nice. Thanks, Jorge. I'm glad you are enjoying these exercises. Danielle says, have you ever played Antonio Laro stuff? I did. I played some of the the lesser known waltzes, I guess, when I was, I think I was like a freshman or a sophomore. No, maybe it was a sophomore. But they're so beautiful. Actually, now that you're making me think I should play them again. They're so nice. Robert says he's going to start on the 5th fret with that one. Yeah, definitely. If these ones do the 5th fret, if you can. I'm going to show you them on the 1st fret because that's the way they're written, and it'll kind of like, I don't know, for some reason, like it's written that way. I'm just going to show you that way, but definitely just play them wherever is the most comfortable, which is probably up here. Okay, so we just did form 6, which is 2, 3, and 4. That one's the hardest one so far. Let's go on to the next one. So remember, you can do these every fret up that you want. Maybe, I guess my recommendation would be to pick one of these a day or something. When I used to do these a lot, I used to just do one different one every day and do all of the 7th and then back. And then the next, so I would do form 1 for the first day. And the next day I would do form 2 up and back, and then form 3, and then I would kind of loop around again. Now that I think about it, I'm going to start doing these again because they're really challenging my fingers a lot. Let's see, let's go on to the next one. Form 7, now we're going to, it's going to be 3, 1, 2. So, 3, 1, 2. going. That's a good one. That one's less hard. If you don't have the pinky involved, it's not as difficult. It's less hard to do, but that one like confused my brain. I might be just getting tired, but that one was like felt like a tongue twister, but like for my fingers. Let's see. So now we're on form 8. Now we're gonna do this again, but now with the 4th finger. So it's 3, 1, 4. 3, 1, 4. Now we're moving our 3rd finger over a string. How about exercises for chord changes? So chord changes, I think these are going to help with your chord changes, first of all, because, you know, when you're changing chords, you're trying to move all of your fingers in different directions. Like I said in the very beginning with like a C and then going to a G, you got to move all of your fingers in the completely different directions. Or like a C to, you know, even like bar chords, like you're always just moving in different directions. So you can try these to help your overall finger independence, and then chord changes that you have in a piece, do like really slowly take out like some chords. If some chords are giving you trouble, like if I'm going to use this example because it's, I think, easy to understand for everybody, but say, so if you play a C, G, if you play C and then it takes you like too long to get to G, or you've got your finger on the wrong string, you have to kind of mess with it, then that's where you can do like isolate that. That's the hard part. Okay, that chord to that chord is hard. And I'm going to make that my exercise. You know, I'm going to do C, and maybe do one finger at a time or something, just to make sure going really slow to that, and make the things that you're playing your exercises. So say you're gonna practice technique. I would practice technique separately from everything else. Just do a technique exercise, like I do like a half-hour technique warm-up before I start. If that sounds like too much, like you could do 5 minutes of technique, you could do 10 minutes of technique, it could be 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be a half hour or, you know, hours long. You meant chord changes around the fretboard. The same thing, where I would just practice it like, yeah, I know what you mean, chord changes around the fretboard, like different positions. Pick like beat 1 to beat 2 or something is where I'm messing up, or I'm having trouble getting from beat 3 to beat 4. Take those and like just practice them back and forth again, and make sure that your fingers know exactly where to go, so it'll be like a muscle memory kind of. And if you do exercises like this, like technique exercises, you might find it easier to do those kinds of things because your fingers are already moving independently. Daniel asks, do you know about Amelia Pujol 10 superior etudes? Yes, those are good. Those are good ones for sure. Maybe we could do some of those one day too. Nice job, guys. This is good. How many more of these do we have? See, there's just so many. Okay. I'll show you the rest of these. So, are we on form 9 or 10? So we're on form, let's do form 9. So that's 3, 2, 4. Ooh, that one's hard. Okay, let me do that again. What was it? Maybe I'll do it up another fret because that was tricky. 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4. Okay, that was a hard one. And let's do form 10. That one is 4, 1, 2. That's tricky. Sounds cool though. Mr. Rat is going crazy right now. I wish you could see him. He loves this one. Wow. He's running around. I don't know if you can hear it. He's like running around the cage. Okay. Wow, that was distracting. Okay, that was form 10. Form 11. This is our last page. We only have 2 more forms. Let's try them. So we've got form 11 is 4, 1, 3. Okay, Mr. Rat is like standing up with his hands on the cage like this. It's crazy. If I wouldn't ruin my live stream, I would show you. So we're doing 4, 1, 3. Ooh, get too distracted. I gotta go slower. Hard one for the first fret. And then I'll go up a fret. Ugh, that one sounded bad. I'm gonna do that again. Not touching right here on the tip of the pinky, then there's no way I'm gonna be able to get those notes. You gotta be really accurate with this one when you move strings. So don't let your pinky do this kind of a thing. Don't let it be flat. It's gotta be really on the tip of the pinky, standing up tall. Okay, we've got one more. This is it. So this one is 4, 2, 3. God. I missed the third finger twice in a row, so I gotta redo that slower. If you're doing this with me, we're gonna go slower. That was shameful. I did it a third time in a row. See, that's bad. Break. Okay, this will be the last time, so I think I got it this time. So hard. This one's so hard. Let's go to the next fret. So I'd have to work on that one. I would work on that slower off camera. Okay, that was form 12. So there's 12 vertical exercises, and they are really tricky. So like I said, if this moved too fast, that's totally okay. Like I said, I learned these like years ago, and I've been doing them for a long time, so I might be able to play them a little bit faster. Yeah, if you can't do this one, that's okay. Like I said, move up to a higher fret might help, because it is kind of a stretch, and then go down. But if you can't do that one, that's okay. Keep doing the first couple, and then add some more on as you go, and you can always come back to these. You know, you don't have to do all of them right now. These are just some options for you to do practicing, and pick a couple that you really want to do for a while. Like maybe you could go in order, like that first pumping nylon one where you're just moving one finger. It seems easy now, right? Compared to before. If you're just moving one finger, maybe you want to do that every day, just for a couple weeks or something, or a couple days, whatever it is. And then if you want to challenge yourself, start moving 2 fingers. And then maybe you add on the chromatic octaves. Come back to this video, bookmark it. Find the next technique. My favorite one are these vertical exercises. I think they sound cool, and they're the trickiest. Anyway, so that's all of the exercises that I use for. Oh, Daniel says, I came late. Can you tell me about the name of the technique book that you're using? I can't believe you came to class late, Daniel. I'm just kidding. This isn't a class that you'd. The books I'm using are feeling tired and kind of silly. They're in the description. I put Amazon links there because I want you all to just see what they are. But the first couple I used were Pumping Nylon by Scott Tennant. And then I used Kitharologus by Ricardo, Iznaola. And then I used Mastering Guitar Technique by Christopher Berg. And then I used this vertical exercises by Boudounis. So basically I just took, those are just some of the books that I really like for guitar technique, and I took out my favorite left hand finger independence exercises to show you guys. So if you like the exercises, then consider looking at more of the book, because the books are like complete guitar methods. They're not just left hand exercises. I just took out the ones that I like. So yeah, thanks everybody. I really appreciate you guys supporting me and coming to my stream. This is really fun. I hope that this is really helpful for everybody. And that the fact that it's a live stream allows you to like ask me questions and interact, and I can play without, like, there's no cuts or anything. This is how I really play, you know, that kind of a thing. It's interesting to be able to watch the screen while I play and answer questions, which is really fun. So since I put the poll up asking, do you guys want to see this technique together or a live stream concert, the poll was so close. It was, I think I had like 48 votes, and 51% was this, and 49% was the live stream concert. So I was like, maybe I should do the live stream concert next week, and then I was like, nah, I should just do both of them this week. So I'm gonna do a live stream concert this week as well. So if you voted for that, thank you. I'm gonna do it still, because it was like really like half and half for what you guys wanted. So here's our technique class, and then on Saturday night I'll be doing the live stream concert. So I'll just be playing some of my favorite pieces on stream. It'll be probably less time than this, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and I'm going to start that at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And again, just like all my streams, it'll be up afterwards, so you can watch it if you miss it. But if you can come, it's fun because I like to see you guys in the chat and answer questions and talk to you. So anyway, thanks again, everybody. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to, you know, send me a comment or a message and ask any questions about these. But otherwise, I hope you have a good night and happy practicing. Thank you.